Alright, so at home today it was cloudy and cold. We were all in sweatshirts and decided, well, if it's going to be cold and kind of miserable, let's come out here, spend some time, because there's really nothing at home we want to do. And now it's mostly sunny out here, and it's actually t-shirt weather. It's really nice and warm. Anyway, so the point of this video is I want to get a set of pallet forks. Before I even waste any money getting wheel weights, I'm just going to get pallet forks because I think I can get those a little bit cheaper. I looked into the John Deere Frontier brand for John Deere, and I think those are about $1,000. And the other ones I looked at were Titan Attachments, makes a set of John Deere compatible pallet forks. So I don't know if any of these numbers are right, but I know they're pretty close. I believe the loader lifts 1,100 pounds. And part of the issue with getting a heavier set of pallet forks that may have extra like structure to them is that you're going to lose lift capacity. So I'm looking at the ones that Titan had. It looked like, from what I could see online, it was basically a plate that was probably as tall as this bucket. It attached, so basically it comes up to the attach point, and then the forks came out, on the bottom here. They also had some other ones that had more of like a guard that came way up and came across, and there's some braces in between. Based on what they show though, the weight of that one with the more bracing, I want to say is like 50 or 75 pounds heavier than the one that's more basic. So I'm thinking about going with that one just because I don't want to lose any lift capacity. So, and I don't know if they're talking 1,100 pounds from back in here where the pins are, or the 1,100 pounds is maybe 12 inches out from that. So that's got to be something to factor in. Also, I don't know what this bucket weighs, so I'd be interested to know, like, in comparison. I think the pallet forks were somewhere between like 300 and 370, depending on, like I said, if you had the more basic one or the one that had that bracing and stuff, that structure that came up. So because, you know, you add, I don't know what this bucket is, it's got to be 200, maybe 300 pounds. Maybe not that much. I know there's not much to it. It's pretty light. I know I can manhandle it pretty well here. I wish I could find this on John Deere somewhere, but this is pretty thin, and I believe I think somewhere underneath, if I was, yeah, something was bent already just from me pushing around on it, which really wouldn't surprise me because you got this cutting edge in front here that's pretty thick, but then that's pretty thin. There's not much to that. So if you're really giving her and digging in hard, you're probably going to bend it. So maybe this isn't that heavy. So like I said, if you go with a heavier set of pallet forks, I'm going to lose a lot of lift capacity, and this to me doesn't have a lot already. So, and the reason I want to go with 48 is so that I can get into like a normal 4x4 pallet, and I'm hoping that I could move around piles of wood and that type of thing, and then logs. If at that point then I need the wheel weights, I'll buy them then, but the first thing I want to get is the pallet forks, I guess. So if you got any input, or if you know of anybody else that's selling them, the John Deere ones, like I said, I want to say those were like $1,000, and they looked over-engineered for this size loader. Like, boy, the mosquitoes are starting to catch up with me here. It seemed like it'd be structurally overbuilt for the loader, just because you're going to lose all that lift capacity. So I'm looking at the Titan Attachments. They make a bunch of different John Deere compatible forks. I don't know, that I don't quite understand it. Some of them say made in USA, others don't say anything, so I'm assuming they're made in China maybe. I don't know. If anybody has any input, like I said, I'd like to know, because I don't want to buy something that's garbage. I'm not really worried about bending them up because, like I said, this is a pretty small machine. Alright, so my plan was that I wasn't going to get hot and sweaty today, but I did do some clearing here of that path. There was a pine that was across here. I cut that up, and then I went further down. So this trail in the front now is open. I took it through with the four-wheeler. So here's what's left of that pine. And I just didn't feel like getting a chain and pulling it out to cut up the rest of that. I can do that later, I guess. It looks like it's in pretty good shape otherwise. So, but like I said, the paths inside here just needs to get cut up. This is pretty pretty overgrown. I should probably get a brush hog, something, I guess, just to knock down the weeds and stuff. So we also brought the bikes along today, so the kids have been riding up and down the road here because there's no traffic out here at all. It's been pretty quiet. So, and I don't know about the grass in front. The kids got that pretty much knocked down with the four-wheeler, so that helps, and I don't have to cut that, I guess. Alright, so Addie's been driving this thing all day today, so she's going to start it up and take off here. We got a good path worn in here already. I know some of that was from over spring here when I was logging with the tractor too, but